Did you know that the average American has only around $37,220 in personal savings? That's non-retirement savings? For many, saving more money is a top financial goal, but getting started can feel like an uphill battle. Setting a goal to save $10,000 might seem daunting, but it's one of the most effective ways to give your savings a serious boost. Now imagine what it would feel like to have an extra $10,000 in your account in just a year or even sooner. With the right plan, saving money can become second nature, and that's exactly what we're here to talk about. This is how to save $10,000 fast. In this video, we're going to show you 6 easy saving tips that can help you reach your $10,000 goal quicker than you might think. Whether you're trying to build an emergency fund, save for a big purchase, or just want to see that number in your bank account grow, these strategies are designed to be simple, practical, and achievable. So subscribe to the channel and let's get started. The first saving tip to save $10K quickly is all about automation. Did you know that a 2004 research study found there's a way to save 3.8 times more money just by automating your savings? And the best part? You can still enjoy buying the things you love, whether it's pineapple pizza, Mr. Magic Lamb, or even broccoli. The trick is to do it in a specific way, automating your guidelines for saving. Implementing guideline automation might take a little effort up front, but once it's in place, it saves you a ton of time and prevents the stress of manually managing your money. This strategy plays on a psychological principle called loss aversion. Basically, the pain of losing $100 feels much worse than the joy of finding $100. That's why anything that seems to reduce your immediate pile of cash, like saving, can feel a bit challenging. When your savings happen automatically, you never even have to think about it, and the concept of loss aversion is completely bypassed. This is how you can save $10,000 quickly, without feeling like you're sacrificing anything. Let's put it into perspective. Imagine you earn $67,000 a year. If you set up guideline automation to save just 10% of your income, by the end of the year, you'd have saved nearly $7,000 without lifting a finger after the initial setup. Now, here's how it works. First, your paycheck gets deposited into your checking account. On the same day, your bank automatically transfers a portion of that money into 2 separate accounts. One is for your regular spending, covering things like bills, groceries, and gas. By knowing how much you usually spend each month, you can set spending targets for things like entertainment, dining out, and travel. The second account is your savings account, where all your savings go. At the end of each month, any money you didn't use from your spending account can be automatically transferred to your savings. From there, the money can either build your emergency fund, go into a high-yield savings account, or be invested for future growth. The next saving tip to save $10,000 rapidly is all about making your goal manageable. When you first set a big goal like saving $10,000, it can feel overwhelming, almost like trying to eat 10,000 slices of pizza. But just like you'd tackle that pizza one slice at a time, you should break down your savings goal into smaller, more achievable chunks. Instead of focusing on the big number, think about what you need to save each month, each week, or even each day. For instance, to save $10,000 in a year, you'd need to put away $833 a month. Even that might seem like a lot, but when you break it down further, it's about $27.30 a day. Now, all you have to do is to think about how you can find that $27.30 in your daily life. For example, cooking meals at home instead of eating out could save you $10 to $15 a day. Bringing your own coffee instead of grabbing a latte could save you $5 a day. Cutting out unused subscriptions like Netflix or Hulu could save you around $30 a month. Taking public transportation instead of using Uber might save you $50 a week, and swapping a night out at the bar for a game night with friends could save you $100 a week. In addition, there's one more thing to consider, something called present bias. This is the tendency to prioritize immediate rewards over future benefits. It's why saving money can sometimes feel like a chore. However, by switching your mindset, you can overcome this bias. Instead of thinking you're only saving $27.30 a day, remind yourself that these small actions are what's going to help you save $10,000 by the end of the year. This is how you save $10K by focusing on the small daily choices that add up to something big. Think of it as using a Jedi mind trick on yourself to shift your perspective. Suddenly, saving becomes not just possible, but doable. And before you know it, you'll have reached your goal just by making a few smart decisions each day. Moving forward, the next saving tip to save $10K quickly is about taking back control of your emotional bank. Big companies like Amazon, Coca-Cola, and Nike spend billions trying to figure out what makes you tick. They hire psychologists, behavioral economists, and marketing experts to understand your emotions, cravings, and how to convince you to click that buy button. But what if, instead of letting these multi-billion-dollar companies manipulate your emotions for their gain, you use that same emotional awareness to your advantage to save money? A 2019 research study found that people are 3.3 times more likely to save if they can tap into their emotions to fine-tune their behavior. It all starts with one simple but powerful question. Why? By connecting your savings goal with a deeper personal motivation. Constantly bombarding yourself with statistics about how unprepared families are for emergencies or how difficult it is for some people to retire won't necessarily motivate you to save. For most of us, those facts and figures don't hit home. What really works is finding your own personal why. For example, take someone like Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world. Buffett didn't just save and invest because he knew it was smart. He had a deep personal motivation to secure his financial future. Your why could be anything that matters deeply to you. Maybe it's providing a better life for your children, or perhaps it's ensuring that your parents never have to worry about money again. When you have a clear why, saving money becomes more than just a task. It becomes a mission with real meaning behind it. This emotional connection helps you stay motivated and focused, even when it's tempting to spend instead of save. This is how to save $10K rapidly, by aligning your savings with your core values and personal motivations. When you're emotionally invested in your goal, it's easier to make the sacrifices needed to reach it. As author Simon Sinek explains in his concept of the golden circle, knowing why you're doing something is often more powerful than knowing how or what to do. Your why gives you the strength to keep pushing forward, even when it's tough. The number 4 saving tip we have for you is all about managing temptation. Oscar Wilde famously said, "I can resist everything except temptation." And that's something many of us can relate to. The urge to give in to impulse purchases can be strong, and it's all thanks to a little chemical in our brains called dopamine. This is the pleasure chemical that gets released when we anticipate or experience something rewarding, like buying that shiny new gadget or indulging in a delicious treat. The problem is that most of us misunderstand how dopamine actually works. We tend to think that the rush of happiness comes after we make a purchase, but studies show that it's actually the anticipation of buying something that gives us the biggest dopamine hit. Companies are well aware of this, and they spend billions figuring out how to keep us in that state of anticipation, making us more likely to spend. So, how do you fight back and save that money instead of giving in? By using the not now but later strategy. It's a simple yet powerful way to manage those impulsive spending urges. Instead of telling yourself you'll never make an unnecessary purchase again, which is an unrealistic goal, you give yourself permission to want things, but with a delay. Whenever you see something you really want to buy, add it to a list, a not now but later list. Let yourself enjoy the anticipation, but don't make the purchase right away. Wait 30 days. If, after those 30 days, you still want the item, then you can consider buying it. However, what often happens about 92.7% of the time is that after just a couple of weeks, you realize you didn't really want it in the first place. It was just an impulse decision that would have drained your bank account. The next saving tip to save $10K fast involves understanding the future value of money. It's a powerful concept that can help you make smarter financial decisions today by thinking about what your money will be worth in the future. Let's start with a simple question. If I offered you $100 today or $100 a year from now, which would you choose? Most people would take the money today because they could use it right away, whether that's to buy something like 50 cheeseburgers, a nice watch, or maybe even that Mr. Magic lamp. The basic idea here is that money today is worth more than the same amount of money in the future because you can put it to work right away. But let's make it a bit more interesting. What if I offered you $100 today or $105 in a week? Now, you might hesitate because it's not just about the money right now versus later, but also about how much more that money could be worth in the future. This is where the future value formula comes into play. By understanding the future value, you can decide whether it's better to take the money now and invest it or wait for a larger amount later. By making decisions based on the future value of money, think about it this way. Every dollar you save today, if invested wisely, can grow significantly over time. For example, if you were thinking about buying that Mr. Magic lamp for $5,000 today, consider what that money could be worth if you invested it in the S&P 500 index fund instead. Over 10 years, that $5,000 could grow to almost $13,000. And if you left it invested for 20 years, it could be worth over $33,000. So the real question becomes, is that Mr. Magic lamp worth the future value of $33,000? By thinking about your purchases in terms of their future value, you can make better decisions that bring you closer to your savings goals. This is how you take control of your financial future and save $10,000. Finally, the last saving tip in today's video is about shifting how you think about savings. Most people believe that saving is simply your income minus your expenses, but that's not quite right. According to author Morgan Housel, true savings are actually your income minus your ego. Take a moment to look around your room. Are there any items you bought on impulse because you wanted to keep up with friends or family? Maybe you bought a new TV or car just because your friend got a new one. Housel argues that spending beyond what you really need is often just a reflection of ego, a way to show others that you have or had money. By letting go of the need to impress others and focusing instead on what truly matters to you. The quickest way to boost your savings isn't necessarily about earning more money. It's about increasing your humility. The less you care about what others think, the less you'll feel the need to spend on things you don't really need. If you can spend less by desiring less, you'll find that your savings will start to grow more quickly. This mindset shift is crucial because even if you're doing everything right, there might still be times when you feel like you're not saving enough. That's when you need to remember that sometimes it's not about how much you're earning, but about how much you're letting your ego dictate your spending. Last but not least, to sum up all the tips we discussed, remember that saving $10,000 fast is not just about cutting costs or finding clever tricks. It's about making intentional choices that align with your goals. From automating your savings to understanding the future value of money, and from managing impulses to letting go of the need to impress others, these 6 tips are designed to help you build a strong financial foundation. Remember, the purpose of this video is to educate you on various aspects of investing and not to give you any specific investment advice. Investing involves risks and uncertainties, and you should always do your own research and consult with qualified professionals before making any financial decisions. However, past performance does not guarantee future results, and you should always consider the risk of investments before putting your money at stake. Now, if you found this video helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video, which is the perfect complement to this one. Do not hesitate to share this video. It may help someone. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.